Lil Reed Baduki II, a 5'11", 205 strong safety out of South Carolina. And he's best known for laying that boom on you, and he's also known for ball hawking that ball. As you can see, he's catching interceptions out here. He also has 0 offers going into his senior season, but going into 3rd and 3 on this play, as you can see, he breaks on the ball and get a tackle early. Going into the next play on 2nd and 12, he's not in his zone, but he still lays a big hit on his wide receiver. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, he has a cover 3 zone, and he's coming down, boom, and lays a big hit on him. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, this quarterback, oh my God, he shook me out of my boots, and I missed the tackle. Going into the next play on 2nd and 4, I made sure not to miss him this time. I put him down, but he still got the first. But on the next play, I boom this wide receiver and made him fumble that ball, and I'm out here forcing fumbles. Lil Reed Baduki II is here, and he's here to get some offers this year. And he's fired up. But going into the next play, as you see, I got a cover 3 zone, and the quarterback throws that ball, and I ball hawk it and get an interception. And as you can see, I hit that left sideline, and Lil Reed Baduki II will go all the way 4-6, and he is not playing. Going into the next play on 2nd and 10 at 0 seconds, and they have no chance, and the quarterback throws that ball up, and you know who intercepts it, Lil Reed Baduki II. But as you can see, we're going to win the game, and I get player of the game with 5 total tackles, 1 forced fumble, and 2 interceptions. And I finally picked up my first offer from a dream come true, Coastal Carolina, and I've always wanted the ball on that beach. But as you can see, I have 3 entrance offers in Wake Forest, South Carolina, and North Carolina. Going into our next game against 0-1 Georgetown. I mean, it started off intense. As you can see, on 1st and 10, this quarterback breaks a tackle, but I come in and tackle him. And as you can see, we all rally to that ball, but on 2nd and 10, look how I break on this ball and lay a big hit on his wide receiver. So going into the next play, Lil Reed Baduki II comes in and lay a big hit on his running back, and I was fired up. And I mean, we got him for a good tackle for loss, but going into the next play on 3rd and inches, I got caught lacking in my zone, and they will take it all the way down for 6. If I want Power 5 offense, I can't be making mistakes like that. Going to the next play on 1st 10, I lay that boom on him. Oh my God. Going into that next play on 2nd and 14, I got absolutely bullied. He stiff armed me. Going into that next play on 3rd and 18, I have a cover 3 zone, and as you can see, I hawk that ball, and I will intercept that ball, and I try to get loose, but he brings me down, and I mean, Lil Reed Baduki II was fired up. Going into the next play on 2nd and 1, I have a cover 3 zone, and I will sit you down as soon as you catch that ball. And we're staying relentless, but going into the next play on 2nd and 2, I avoid these blocks and lay that boom on them. Oh my God. As you can see, it's 14-7, and they will go up by 3 to take it 17-7, and we will go on to lose the game. And as you can see, I'm a 3-star recruit now, and I end the game off of 7 total tackles and 1 tackle for loss and 1 interception. I didn't pick up an offer this week, but I did pick up some interest offers in Duke, Louisiana Tech, and Vanderbilt. Going into our next game against 0-2 Columbia. I mean, I started off intense. On 1st and 10, as you see, the quarterback had a read option, but he ran past me, but I still hawked him down for the tackle. Going into the next play on 1st and goal, they are marching down that field. He breaks the tackle, but I come in and end him off, and as you can see, I'm fired over my teammate, and I told him I got him. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, Lil Reed Baduki II comes out and make a big tackle on this wide receiver. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, as you see, I just undercut this route. I thought I had an interception for a pick 6, but I didn't. I had a tackle. Going into the next play on 2nd and 4, I had a hard flat, and as you see, I come down and knock the ball at this wide receiver hand. We're going to win the game, and I end the game off of 4 total tackles and 1 tackle for loss. And as you can see, it's dream come true. I picked up 2 offers from South Carolina and Vanderbilt. I have 3 entrance offers in USF and West Virginia and Navy. Going into our next game against 1-2 Conway. Didn't start off too well. As you can see, on 1st and 10, this running back hit that hole, and I went outside, but I still hawked him down for the tackle. We're just not having a good game. On 2nd and 3, the quarterback comes and stiff arms me and makes me look like a fool, man. But as you can see, they drive down that field, and they put 3 on that board, and it's now 7-3. But I still want my get back on that quarterback, so I lay that boom on him, man, and he pitches that ball, but we still get him for a tackle for loss. But I got my get back. I made sure to make him feel me, but on 3rd and 3, I came down so hard, and as you can see, I lay that boom on this running back. Oh my God. Lil Reed Baduki II is not here to play, but they go down and kick 3 again. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, as you can see, I'm just sitting in my zone being patient for this quarterback to throw the ball. He finally dumps it off to the tight end. As you can see, I get a tackle, but he still gets the first. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, as you can see, I break on that ball, and I lay that boom on this wide receiver, and he fumbles the ball. And as you can see, Lil Reed Baduki II is out there forcing fumbles and making turnovers for his team. And as you can see, we go on to win the game, and I end the game off of 5 total tackles and 1 forced fumble. And as you can see, I picked up an offer from USF after that game, and I have 3 entrance offers in Auburn, Clemson, and the Florida Gators. Going into our next game against 2-2 Woodfield. Start off intense. I lay that boom early on the running back. On 2nd and 6, as you can see, I need to hit the weight room. They are just bullying me with stiff arms, and I can't take it anymore. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I had no business being out of my zone, and this wide receiver just takes this all the way down 4-6, and that's on me. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I shot in like a rocket, but I nearly missed him, and he will take it for a big game with something that could have been turned into a tackle for loss. And I don't know what Lil Reed Baduki II is doing, or he had a man-to-man coverage that he just was not in, and they take it for 6. On 2nd and 5, I lay that boom boom, and I tried to short his neck, but on 2nd and 5, as you can see, I run all the way across the field and lay a big hit on this running back again. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I dive at his legs and make him do a front flip. But going into that next play on 1st and goal, I almost had an interception, but he caught it for a touchdown. And they go on to win the game, and we have to do better, but I end the game off of 5 total tackles. And I pick up 2 spectacular offers from Miami and the Florida Gators. And I've also picked up 3 interest offers in Tennessee, Kentucky, and Georgia. Going into our next game against 3-2 Hanahan. I mean, it didn't start off intense. As you can see, the running back breaks the tackle, then he breaks my tackle, and he gets up the field for a couple yards. Lil Reed Baduki II is just having a horrible start. I mean, he just misses the tackle on his running back. He takes it for a first down. We're going into the next play on 3rd and 8. As you can see, this quarterback had no one to throw it to. He finally throws a wide receiver. I almost have an interception, but my teammate gets a crazy one. I lay that boom on this quarterback, and he felt me. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, as you can see, I go all the way across the field and make a tackle on the quarterback again. Today, I'm like a magnet to that ball. On 1st and 10, I make another tackle on the running back. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I undercut this route. I thought I had an interception, but he caught the ball and took it for a couple yards. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I absolutely laid a boom on this quarterback. But as you can see, this game is getting intense. We're going to overtime, and on 4th down, they were short, and we were up by 7. So as you can see, we go on to win the ball game. And as you can see, I am now a 4-star recruit. And I end the game off of 5 total tackles. And I pick up an unbelievable offer from Kentucky. And I have 3 interest offers in Wisconsin, West Virginia, and Wake Forest. Going into our next game against 1-5 Mullins. I mean, it started off intense. As you can see, we were in man-to-man, and I dropped a pick 6 early. Going into the next play on 1st and 13, I meet him in a hole and laid a boom on him. Nah, I'm not here to play. And on 2nd and 3, this running back is not escaping me. I'm going to be a magnet to that ball all night with another tackle. Going into the next play, as you can see, this running back running outside, but I will wrap and roll him. Them Gator rolls are paying off. Going into the next play, I lay that boom on him, and I made him force a fumble. And Lil Reed Baduki II is having an amazing game. We're going into the next play, that quarterback runs that ball, and I make him do a front flip, and he lands on his back. This 4th quarter, 10-10, and we need to stop. And this old lineman put a block on me, and I tackle him into the end zone, and they score, and they will go on to win the game. And as you can see, I go on to end the game off of 5 total tackles and 1 forced fumble. I pick up a dream come true offer from Alabama and Wisconsin. And as you can see, I have 3 interest offers in West Virginia, Texas Tech, and Texas. Going into round playoff 1 game, it's either win or go home. And as you can see early on, I started off with a big hit on this wide receiver. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, early on, I jumped this route with an interception, and I will go all the way to put 7 on the board for my team, and I'm fired up. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I lay that boom on no running back. Now I don't want to go home, but going into the next play on 3rd and 2, they had a read option. I made sure this quarterback did not get the first down. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, this wide receiver caught the ball, but I hit him out of bounds for disrespect. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, they took our top off in this 4th quarter, and we needed a stop, and he will take it all the way for 6, and that's something that we did not need. And as you can see, they end us the old-fashioned way and nailed the ball, and Thomas Jones had an awesome game. But I have achieved a lot of things. As you can see, coming into the senior year, I was no stars, and now I'm a 5-star recruit. I had a ball-out game, but I picked up an offer from Texas Tech. I picked up interest offers in Arizona State, Arkansas, and Auburn. And I am now ranked number 94 in the country. But I am not faced with the biggest decision of my life, and I have to sit down with my family to figure out what's best for me. Being faced with the biggest decision of my life going into signing day, I have to sign to one of these schools. And I mean, I have a lot of Power 5 offers, and this choice right here is going to be hard. But after going over it with the fam, I've chose to commit to Coastal Carolina. And the reason why I committed here is because Coach said I would be a 1st-string strong safety, and this was my first scholarship offer. And coming in as a freshman, it is a blessing to be 1st-string on that depth chart. Going into Lil Reed Baduki II first practice, started off intense. He threw the quarterback to the ground. He stayed relentless as he boomed the quarterback. Oh my God. And later into practice, as you can see, I was in a zone, and I read this, and I broke on it so well, and I picked it, and I will go all the way. Lil Reed Baduki II is in college, and he is here. He is showing them why he's not just a freshman. They're gonna run all over. Coach said great practice, and you're in no danger of losing that starting position. On to our first game against number 14 Texas. Didn't start off well. I had a punt, and I dropped it and dived on it, and I did not get it, and they recovered it. That turned into them getting 3 points and putting points on that board. And this was not a good start to my freshman debut, but on 1st and 10, as you can see, I put him down as soon as he catch that ball. I'm gonna intercept it next time, but on 2nd and 8, as you see, I punished him and angled the tackle on this quarterback, and he went for a pretty big game. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, this wide receiver had me beating man-to-man, but I came and boomed him because I had to get my get back. That did not stop Texas from putting 3 on that board. They scored again. And our offense can't get anything going, but on 1st and goal, as you can see, I stopped this running back before he got in that end zone. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, he throws it to the tight end, and I'm coming in to take out ACL, MCL. So you better watch out. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, he catch the ball, and I put him down as soon as he catches it. We're going to lose our first game, but I end the game off of 5 total tackles. Going into our next game against 1-0 Minnesota. Started off intense. On 1st and 10, I put this wide receiver down as soon as he got the ball. Going into the next play on 2nd and 9, I was in the cover 3 zone, but I was just not in the right right position to intercept. Going into that next play on 3rd and inches, I got disrespected and he stiff-armed me and I just felt like a fool. This is the second game that I'm off to a slow start, and as you can see, I was not in my zone and he went for 6. Not just once, but I got caught lacking again not in my zone and they went for another one. And I have to do better, but on 3rd and 2, as you can see, I shed the block and lay that boom on him. I have to get back in the groove, but on 2nd and 4, I stopped this quarterback before he got the first down. We're going to lose again, and I end the game off of 5 total tackles and 1 sack. On to our next game against 0-1 UTEP. Started off intense. I laid a big hit on him early on. Lil Reed Baduka the second said he wanted change, and he's going to get changed, but he dropped the interception. On to the next play on 1st and 10, they have outside zone. I laid that boom on him. To the next play on 1st and 10, he ran the weakest route, and I ran it for him, and I will intercept that ball, and Lil Reed Baduka the second will go all the way for 6. We're going into the next play on 2nd and 6, I went all the way across the field and lay a big tackle on. We're going into the next play on 3rd and 12, I come down and boom him. Oh my God. And we go on to win the game, and as you can see, I end the game off of 4 total tackles and 1 interception. Going into our next game against 1-1 UCLA. As you can see, I came out and laid a big hit on this dude early. We're going into the next play on 1st and 10, I went all the way across the field, but he got the first down, but I still brought him down. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I read this route and almost had a pick 6, but I dropped the ball. Staying relentless and going into the next play on 2nd and 10, I rap and roll this running back. We're going into the next play on 3rd and 13, I made sure to stuff him down. We're going into the next play, quarterback rolls out of that pocket and I laid him down. And this quarterback just keeps rolling out of his pocket and I'm hitting him every time. We're going into the next play on 1st and 10, this quarterback rolled out again and I made sure to make him do a flip this time. We're going to win the game and I end the game off for 7 total tackles. Going into our next game against 1-2 San Diego State. Start off intense on 1st and 10, he cannot catch that ball with Lil Reed Baduka the second on. They drove down that field and capitalized and put 3 up. And that was too quick, so on 1st and 10, I laid that boom on him. I have to show him I'm here. We're going into the next play, I had a cover 3 zone and I had this strapped up, but I just did not intercept the ball. We're going into the next play on 1st and 10, I undercut this route and almost had an interception, but I tackled. But San Diego State is not playing. They're putting 3 on that board every time they drive down that field. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, he absolutely broke my tackle and got up that field, but my teammates rallied that ball. We're going into the next play on 1st and 10, I got stuck inside, but I will get back out and make a tackle on him. And I was fired up. We're going into the next play on 3rd and 10, as soon as he catch that ball, I sling him to that ground. You can see we going to win the game, and I end the game off of 5 total tackles. Going into our next game against 3-1 New Mexico. Start off intense. I mean, I had a blitz and I hit the quarterback, but he still completed the pass for a first down. As you can see on 2nd and 13, I was in a cover 3 zone and I undercut this route and almost had an interception. I'm gonna get one. But going into the next play on 3rd and 4, I baited him up and almost had an interception, but I dropped the ball. Nose right there always sting you. But going into the next play on 3rd and 2, as you can see, he breaks a tackle, but I go and lay on him. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, Lil Reed Baduka the second is always gonna be a game changer as he go and strip the ball out from that quarterback, but they recovered. See, we're going to win the game, and I end the game off for 3 total tackles and 1 forced fumble. On to our next game against 3-3 right. Started off intense. This quarterback rolled out of that pocket. I boomed him early on. We're going into the next play on 1st and 10. As you can see, this wide receiver caught the ball, but I put him down as soon as he got the first down. And I'm coming for respect. On 1st and 10, they have a sweep, but I boom him again. I rearranged his jaw, and I came fired up with my teammates, and I was not here to play. But on 3rd and 2, this quarterback didn't have enough. He gets boomed again. He just didn't get it. And being an athlete, a special teams All-American, Lil Reed Baduka the seconds hit that left sideline, and he will go all the way, but he gets pushed out of bounds. You can see we're going to win the game, and I end the game off of 4 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 1 sack. On to our next game against 4-4 Old Dominion. It wasn't a great start. As you can see on 1st and 10, he gets too much of a gain that he was not supposed to get, but I rap and roll. Old Dominion came out the gate kicking 3 so they could get on that board early to tie the game up. Going into the next drive on 3rd and 9, as you can see, his wide receiver catch the ball, and I muscled him up and brought him down. As you can see, Old Dominion is driving down that field, and on 1st and 10, the wide receiver dunks on one of our DBs, and that's frustrating. But they scoring this now 10-17, and they have to score, but I boom him and made him fumble that ball. And big time players make big time plays in big time moments. Lil Reed Baduka the second is back and he is here to stay. See, we going to win the game, and I end the game off of 4 total tackles and 1 tackle for loss and 1 forced fumble. Going into our next game against 5-2 Louisiana. As you can see, we started off intense as I came down and boom, this running back. And I made him feel me early on, but on 3rd and 4, I made sure to hit him as soon as he caught that ball and brought him down with a horse collar. And Lil Reed Baduka the second is a dirty player. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, I boom him again. A pretty big hit. But going into the next play on 2nd and 8, I boom him again. I was not playing all game. But going into that next play on 1st and 10, as you can see, I had him strapped up. The quarterback had nowhere to throw the ball. Now I stayed relentless throughout the whole game, and on 2nd and 14, I got caught lacking in my zone. He caught the ball, but I brought him down for a tackle. Going into the next play on 2nd and 9, I absolutely shed the block and made this running back do a backflip. And these hits are critical. On 1st and 10, I'm laying out headaches all night. On 2nd and 9, I boom, the quarterback. That one hurt him. But on 1st and 10, as you can see, I had an interception, but I dropped the ball. As you can see, we're going to win the game, and I end the game off for 8 total tackles and 3 tackles for loss. Going to our next game against 7-1 Boston College. As you can see, it started off slow. I got pushed inside, and the running back got outside. We're going into the next play on 1st and 10. As you can see, I hit him, and I stripped that ball out and made a fumble, but they recovered the ball. But Boston College came out with 3, and it is now 3-0. Going into the next play, I will be a special teams All-American as I juke inside, juke back outside, and as you can see, I will outrun him, and I will go all the way, but he will push me out of bounds. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, I almost had an interception. I cut back and made a tackle. And I'm here. But going into the next play, as you can see, they kick 3 and go up again. On 1st and 10, I got embarrassed. He stiff-armed me and made me fall. But as you can see, Boston College brings out that special teams and kick 3 again. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, I got as low as possible and made a big hit on the quarterback. And as you can see, I'm not letting this running back get anywhere. I wrap him and throw him to the ground. And nail the ball, and we go on to lose. And as you can see, I end the game with 8 total tackles and 1 forced fumble. Going into our next game against 6-4 Florida Atlantic. Start off intense. I start off with a big tackle for loss early. We're going into the next play on 2nd, and then as you can see, I will hawk him down, and as you can see, he got the first down. Going into the next play, as you can see, they kicked 3 to take them up 3-0 early. But this is the 2nd week in a row I've gotten stiff-armed twice. I need to hit the weight room. We're going into the next play on 1st and 10. I was in cover 3 zone. I absolutely obliterate this running back. And as you can see, I am a run stopper. On 2nd and 10, he gets nowhere. We're going into the next play, as you can see, on 1st and 10, he tries to escape and trips up, and I get him. But as you can see, Lil Reed Baduki II is a magnet to that ball, and he gets another tackle for loss. Going into the next play on 2nd and 10, I boom him. And as you can see, we go on to win the ball game, and we were not here to play, and I end the game off with 7 total tackles. Going into our next game against 8-3 App State, as you can see, he threw the ball, and I put him down as soon as he caught that ball. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I turned around and laid the boom on him. Oh my God. I'm staying relentless all night, but on 2nd and 11, I almost had an interception, but I dove and missed it. See, we go on to win the game, and I end the game off with 3 total tackles. I had a slow game. As a freshman, it's not too bad to pick up a Jim Thorpe award. Going into our next game against 6-6 Temple, started off slow. I was in the cover 3 zone, and this wide receiver burnt me, and I mean, he absolutely took it all the way down for a pretty big 50-yard game. We're going into the next play on 2nd and 7. I went in and got a sack on the quarterback. And on 1st and 10, I laid the boom on the running back. I wasn't here to play. As you can see, Temple brings out their special team, and they will go up 3, and it is now 6-0. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I set him down as soon as he caught the ball. Going into the next play on 2nd and 17, he absolutely ran me over, but I brought him down. Going into the next play on 1st and goal, as you can see, I absolutely run through him. Going into the next play on 3rd and goal, as you can see, he throws the ball to the tight end, and they will go in to score. And as you can see, Temple will go on to win the bowl game. I end the game off with 6 total tackles and 1 sack, and as you can see, this is the end of Lil Reed Baduki II's freshman year. And as you can see, Lil Reed Baduki II has transferred, and he transferred to the Florida Gators. And after talking to coach, he said he felt like I will fit in great with this defense, so I had no other choice but to come. I'm catching interceptions early. As you can see, this running back came down, but I laid the boom on him. But getting later in practice, we're in a cover 3 zone, and as you can see, that ball goes to Lil Reed Baduki II, and I'm ready to play. And after having a great practice, coach said you were in no danger of losing your starting position. Going into our first game against Toledo, it started off intense. As you can see, the quarterback didn't know where to throw it, and he threw it to my teammate. My teammate will take the ball all the way 4-6, and we score early on. We are planning for a blowout, but going into the next play on 2nd and 13, I was in great coverage and almost had an interception, but I didn't. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I came down as soon as he caught that ball and tackled him. But going into the next play on 3rd and 8, I had a cover 3 coverage, and I was in great coverage, but I was just not in the right position to intercept the ball. And I was frustrated with myself, but going into the next play on 1st and 10, I came down and boomed him. Oh my God, he felt me. And I was starting off intense to the season, but going on to the next play on 3rd and 15, as you can see, I hawk him down and tackle him before he get that first down, and I was pretty fired up. I got up intense and told him to muscle up. Going into the next play on 3rd and 3, the quarterback runs the ball, and I lay a pretty big hit on him. I boomed him. Coming into our season opener, as you can see, we're going to win the game, and I end the game off of 5 total tackles. Not a too bad game. Going into our next game against 1-0 Miami, started off intense. As you can see, I shed the block and got to that running back with bad intentions, and I was fired up early on. That's a great way to start the game. But going into the next play on 3rd and 17, I was in great coverage, and he overthrew this tight end. To the next play on 3rd and 8, I came in hot and hit the quarterback, and he somehow got his pass off, and this tight end breaks a tackle and still gets up the field and get a first down somehow. And that puts them in position for a field goal, and they kick 3, and they go up early on us 3-0. But I stay relentless, and on 2nd and inch, I boom this running back and let him field me. But going into the next play on 2nd and 15, this wide receiver ran back to catch the ball, and I take him back for some more and try to strip the ball out. Going into the next play on 2nd and 12, I almost have an interception, but I dropped the ball. And I have to get some sticky gloves, because that can't keep keep happening. But going into the next play, I come down and lay a big hit on this running back, and he didn't get anything. But going into the next play on 3rd and 7, I drop another interception, but I made up for it on 4th and 10. I boomed him. There's 5 seconds on that clock, and Miami need anything to win. They catch the ball and they will get up that sideline, but as you can see, we push them out of bounds. And as you can see, we going to win our 2nd game of the season. But as you can see, I ended the game off for 6 total tackles and 3 tackles for loss. Going into our next game against 2-0 Tennessee, as you can see, it started off intense on 2nd and 9. I hit this running back before he got to that 1st down, and I will be giving out headaches. I boom him, oh my god, on 3rd and 2 to force it to 4th down, and I was fired up. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, look how I use these D-line moves to get to this wide receiver with bad intentions. But that didn't stop Tennessee from bringing out their special teams and putting 3 on that board. Going into the next play on 2nd and 10, I set him down as soon as he caught the ball, and we going to win the game. And as you can see, I ended the game off for 4 total tackles. Going into our next game against 1-2 Kentucky, started off intense. As you can see, I went and made that tackle as soon as he caught the ball. The SEC is different. These wide receivers were trying to drive me out the club. Going into the next play on 3rd and 12, we had a man-to-man, and I was in great coverage, but I absolutely got dunked on, and I wasn't too much feeling that. But going into the next play, as you can see, Kentucky drove down and put 3 on the board. Going into the next play with no seconds on the clock, as you can see, I tried to shorten his neck. But going into this next play on 3rd and 1, I'm all over the place. I misangled this tackle, and the running back go up the field for a pretty big rush, and I'm making mistakes. But going into the next play on 2nd and 1, I absolutely get stiff arm and ran over. He run over our other teammate, but I retraced. As you can see, once again, they bring out that special team to put 3 on that board again. The next play on 1st and 10, I need to hit the weight room. These SEC boys are different. I get ran over again, but my team rallied to the ball. Going into the next play on 3rd and 7, I had a cover 3, and I went out of my zone, and I absolutely intercepted the ball, but I was out of bounds. Going to win the game, and I ended the game off for 4 total tackles. Going to our next game against number 19, 4-1 Arkansas. Started off intense. I broke the ball up early. But going into the next play on 2nd and 10, I absolutely misangled this tackle, and the running back took it for a 1st down and more. So we finally brought him down. But going into the next play on 3rd and 10, I came down and I was boom, laid the boom on him, and I made sure that he felt me. Going into the next play on 2nd and 12, he got me on his out route, but I made sure to make a forward and lay a big hit on him. To the next play on 2nd and 18, as you can see, I was blocked up, but I got to the outside and hit him out of bounds, and I knocked those buckles loose. But on 3rd and 4, I made sure to get to that ball. As you can see, I brought him down. Going into the next play on 1st and goal, look how relentless I was. I boomed him, oh my god. Lil Reed Baduki the second is not here to play, but as you can see, they kicked 3. But going into the next play on 2nd and 7, as you can see, I was sitting in my zone, but I don't know what our DBs were doing. They left the wide receiver wide open. And on 3rd and 7, I undercut this route, but I could have had an interception. On 1st and 10, this quarterback got boomed. I made sure to lay it on him. As you can see, we're losing 10-0, and I'm making plays because I'm trying to win. But that still didn't stop Arkansas. They kicked 3 and went up 13-0. That hurt us, and as you can see, we're going to lose the game. And I ended the game off for 6 total tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 sack. Going to our next game against 1-5 LSU. Did not start off well. As you can see, on 3rd and 10, I was not man-to-man, and I mean, he took it and he ran us both over, and he got up that field with bad intentions. As you see, break a tackle and get up that sideline, and he will go all the way. But we finally get him, and we let up a 69-yard reception. They get to the goal line and take it in for 6. To the next play on 2nd and 5, me being a big hitter I am, lay a big hit on this wide receiver. Going into that next play on 1st and 10, this quarterback run that ball, and I boom him. Oh my god. I mean, Lil Reed Baduki the second is giving headaches all night. He lays another big hit on this wide receiver. As you can see, LSU brings out the special teams and put 3 on the board. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I'm trying to come in here and take ACL and MCL out. But as you can see, I stay relentless, and on 2nd and 16, I shed this block and get to that quarterback with bad intentions. But as you can see, we go on to win the game, and I end the game off of 5 total tackles. Going into our next game against 5-1 Missouri. Didn't start off well. They were driving down that field early on, but we were rallying to that ball. Early on, as you can see, they strike early with 3 points, and they were not playing. Going into the next play on 36, I could have had my first interception of the season one-handed, but I dropped the ball, and that's going to eat me up. But going into the next play on 2nd and 10, I make a pretty big hit on this running back. But going into the next play on 39, as you can see, I got caught lacking in my zone, and this wide receiver will take it all the way for 6, and that was on me. And I can't be making big mistakes like that. But going into the next play, I don't know what this DB was doing, but he let up a pretty big catch, and I came over and wrapped and rolled. And as you can see, Missouri will convert on that goal line, and we are just letting them get in the game with us. But as you can see, they try to go for the 2-point conversion, and they would not get it. We deflected that ball. Going into the next play on 3rd and 3, dump it off to the fullback, and I laid the boom on him. Going into the next play on 3rd and 11, I came in and hit that quarterback and stripped that ball at it, and I am out there creating turnovers for my team. Big time players make big time plays in big time moments. 30 seconds on the clock, I still let up a touchdown, but that wasn't enough. We're going to win the game, and as you can see, I end the game off for 3 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 1 sack, and 1 forced fumble. Going into our next game against number 25, 4-3 Georgia. Started off intense. As you can see, on 1st and 10. As soon as this wide receiver catch the ball, I put him down. And as you can see on 4th and 4, the defense was creating turnovers early on to give our offense that ball. But going into the next play on 3rd and 7, as you can see the wide receiver catch that ball, I hit him down low, but he stayed on his feet. Going into the next play on 3rd and 3, I try to stop this running back from getting that first down, but he still gets. Going into the next play on 2nd and goal, as you can see, I was not in my zone and I let the wide receiver score. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, the quarterback breaks a tackle, but I hit him down low and our other player knocks the ball out. And as you can see, we are creating turnovers early. Going into the next play on 2nd and 4, I stayed too patient and the wide receiver catch the ball, but I wrap and roll them. Gator rolls are paying off. Going into the next play on 2nd and I absolutely throw him to that ground. And I am not playing, but going into the next play on 1st and 10, I lay that boom on him. And he felt Lil Reed Baduki that second, but going into the next play on 2nd and goal, they go in to score. But our offense marched back down that field and we going to win the game. And I ended the game off with 8 total tackles and 2 tackles for loss. Going into our next game against 4-4 Vanderbilt, didn't start off so well. I mean, I was missing tackles early and missed angle and everything, but I stepped it up and made up for it on 1st and goal. As you can see, the quarterback rolls out, but I hit him and I got up and I was fired up and say I want some more. But we hold the Vanderbilt from a touchdown and they kicked 3. That was a great defensive stop, but on 2nd and 6, I was in a perfect zone, and as you can see, I almost had an interception, but I drop him every time. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I absolutely get bullied. I mean, he stiff-armed me and pushed me out of the club, but I tried to regain. We're going to win the game, and I ended the game off with 2 total tackles. I had a horrible game. Going into our next game against 1-8 South Carolina, started off intense. As you can see on 2nd and 10, we were all rallying to that ball to hit that running back. But going into the next play on 3rd and 6, I was absolutely in my zone, but I absolutely missed a wide receiver, and he will break a tackle, and he will go all the way for a pretty big yard gain, and he gets the touchdown. And that was my fault. But on 3rd and 3, I laid that boom on him even though he didn't catch it. And on 2nd and 10, Lil Reed Baduki II is giving out headaches all night, and he was fired up, and he got up and told him to muscle up. We're going to the next play on 3rd and 12. As you can see, I had a cover 3 zone, and I absolutely had an interception, but I dropped the ball. But going into the next play on 2nd and 5, as you can see, I was in the hard flats, and I absolutely put him down as soon as he caught the ball. We're up 23-7, and on 4th and 4, I absolutely drilled this wide receiver, but we're going to win the game. And as you can see, I ended the game off with 4 total tackles and 2 tackles for loss. Going into our next game against 3-23 FCS SC, I mean, on 3rd down, it started off intense. I hit him real hard. On special teams, I told my teammate I wanted the ball, so I went up and got it and hit that left side. And as you can see, Lil Reed Baduki II will outrun the whole team, and he will go all the way for 6. And I was turned up. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, the quarterback rolls out of that pocket and gets boomed. Oh my God. Going into the next play on 3rd and 6, I mean, the quarterback just threw the ball up and we dropped the interception. On 2nd and 10, the quarterback rolls out again and gets boomed again. Oh my. And I was not here to play, but on 3rd and 5, as you can see, I almost caught an interception, but my teammate got in my way. But we're going to win the game. And as you can see, I end the game off of 5 total tackles. Going into our next game against 6-5 Florida State, didn't start off well. As you can see, I missed angle this running back, and I mean, he took it for a pretty big rush, and he will go all the way for 6, and this is something that could have been turned into a tackle for loss, and that was on me. Going into the next play on 3rd and 6, as you can see, I made up for it and came down and boom, this running back. Oh my God. Going into that next play on 4th and 7, I was being a great defensive player and coming and breaking that ball up every time. Going into that next play on 2nd and 4, we was all over that quarterback all night, and we was like magnets to the ball. And that Florida State quarterback cannot get the ball to his wide receivers because Lil Reed Baduki II. Going into the next play on 2nd and 9, I came down and laid the oomph on him. Oh my God. And he is being a threat today. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, this quarterback rolls out again, but he's not going anywhere. But as you can see, it's 9-10, and this running back catch the ball out of backfield. I come down and I'm trying to hurt him. And I made sure he felt me. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, Lil Reed Baduki II comes down and breaks the ball up. That still didn't stop Florida State. They come down, bring their special teams out, and kick 3 to put 3 on the board. And that goes on to win them the game, and we go on to lose. And as you can see, I end the game off of 6 total tackles and 3 tackles for loss. Going into the conference championship game against 10-2 Mississippi State. Started off intense, but he still got too much of a game. And they were pushing that ball. But on 1st and 10, I came down and laid up boom on this running back. And I made sure to put my head in his chest. But going into the next play on 3rd and 1, this wide receiver catches the ball and absolutely breaks the tackle of the DB and goes in and scores 6 on us early. And they say, how are you going to react? And I laid a boom on him again. Going into the next play on 3rd and 4, as you can see, Lil Reed Baduki II read this play so perfect, and he will go all the way for 6 with his first interception of the season. Just when something good happened, they still capitalized and came back down to put 3 on the board, and they go up by 3. That doesn't stop me. I'm going to stay relentless all game. On 4th down, I go and get a turnover for my team and put them off the field. Going into the next play on 2nd and 3, I laid a boom, and he felt that. But going into the next play on 3rd and 2, I made sure to get this running back before he get to the first down. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, we were in man-to-man, and I read it so perfect again, and Lil Reed Baduki II with his 2nd interception of the season, and he takes it for 6 again, and I'm fired up. Every time something good happens, something bad happens. They go in to score again. As you can see, we go on to win the game, and as you can see, we are SEC conference champions, and I end the game off with 7 total tackles and 2 interceptions, and as you can see, we are in the playoffs. Next Saturday, we go against Oklahoma. On to our playoff game against against number 2 Oklahoma. They started off intense. As you can see, they were punching that ball up the field, but I came with a big hit. Things weren't on our side early. On 3rd and 3, I missed angle to tackle, and the running back will take it all the way 4-6, and I'm going to pay for that. But as you can see, they marched back down that field, and they put 3 on the board to take them up 10-7. Going into the next play on 2nd and 9, as you can see, I come down and make sure to hit him as soon as he caught that ball. But staying relentless all game on 1st and 10, I came down and lay a big hit on this quarterback. I made him flip. Going into the next play on 2nd and 5, I came down and boom, the running back. I actually flew in the air. But Oklahoma was pounding that ball all night. On 1st and 10, he goes for another first down, but I bring him down. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I was late to my man-to-man, but he drops the ball and I intercepted, and I will go all the way. Lil Reed Baduki II will take this all the way 4-6 with his 3rd interception on the season. On 2nd and goal, Oklahoma marches back down that field and he breaks a tackle, and as you can see, he goes in for 6 and we go on to lose the game, and I end the game off of 7 total tackles and 1 interception. As you can see, Oklahoma will face Ohio State in the championship. As you can see, this is the end of Lil Reed Baduki II sophomore season, and I feel like I found my home. But going into Lil Reed Baduki II, first game of his junior season, started off intense. As you can see, he came down and he will strip that ball out and get a fumble for his team, but they recovered. Here, as you can see, going into the next play on 1st and 10, as you can see, they have a sweet play, but I come down and hit him for a tackle for loss. And we were playing hard hitting football, but going into the next play on 3rd and 9, as you can see, I was in the cover 3 zone, but I come down and boom him and made him do a flip, and I was not playing. And I was being a threat all game, but on 2nd and 10, as you can see, I come down and strip that ball out, and I'm making turnovers all day, and my teammate picks that ball up, and as you can see, he gets down that sideline, and he will go, breaks a tackle, break another tackle, and he gets pushed out of bounds. But it is now 23-6, and going into the next play on 1st and 10, as you can see, I read it so perfectly, and I picked it off with one hand, and Lil Reed Baduki II will go all the way for 6, and this is his 1st interception of the season, and as you can see, we go on to win the ball game, and I end the game off for 3 total tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 interception, and 1 forced fumble. Going into our next game against Eastern Michigan, started off intense. On 1st and 10, I laid the boom on his running back. With all due respect, I'm coming out here for my respect, and I laid the boom on him again. Here, going into the next play on 1st and 10, I almost had an interception, but I deflected the ball. Going into the next play on 2nd and 10, I was a man-to-man, but I boomed him and let him feel me. I mean, they're just getting headaches all night, and on 2nd and 6, I boomed him again. I'm not playing. Going into the next play on 2nd and 10, as you can see, we were in a man-to-man, and I get a crazy interception, and as you can see, Lil Reed Baduki II has his 2nd interception of the season, and he will take it all the way 4-6. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I was in great man-to-man, but the other DB was not. As you can see, he took it all the way, but just look at the relentless speed that Lil Baduki II has. He hawks him down and gets the tackle on him. My teammate came in hot with the assisted tackle, but that still didn't stop Eastern Michigan from coming and putting 3 on that board. Going into the next play on 2nd and 5, almost had an interception, but I dropped the ball, and we going to win the game, and I end the game off of 4 total tackles and 1 interception. Going into number 22, 1-1 Ole Miss, started off intense. On 1st and 10, I boomed him early on. I showed him that I was here. But going into the next play on 2nd and 4, I'm gonna punish you all night, so get out of my way. Here, as you can see, on 1st and 10, I get to that ball with bad intentions. I want a ring, but going into the next play on 1st and 10, I boom him. Oh my god. Because Lil Reed Baduki wants all the smoke, and when you go against him, he wants it all. So boom, he's gonna come with respect. Going into the next play on 2nd and 5, he was just completely out of his zone, and the wide receiver caught the ball and took it for 6. But going into the next play on 3rd and 13, I had a hard flash, but I was completely out of my zone, and my teammate tipped the ball to me, and I intercept that ball, and Lil Reed Baduki II will break 1 tackle, bounce it back outside, and he will go break another tackle, and this is his 3rd interception of the season, and he is fired up. You see, we going to win the game, and I end the game off of 5 total tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 interception. Going into our next game against 1-2 Tennessee, didn't start off too well. As you can see, I was man-to-man, but I let him catch that ball, but as you can see, I was trying to strip that ball out, but I brought him down to the ground. We're going into the next play on 1st and 10, as you can see, I was man-to-man again, but as soon as he got that ball, I made sure to hit him and put him down. Here, as you can see, on 3rd and 8, I was in a cover 3 zone, but I came down on the screen, and I tried to end them, and I want my respect. But going into the next play on 2nd and 3, I was in another cover 3 zone, but I just completely was not in my zone, but as you can see, I try to hawk them down, and I will shoestring them. But as you can see, they still came down and capitalized and put 7 on the board. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, I had a hard flat, but I didn't get to that play, but I still pushed them out of bounds. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, as you can see, they had a read out, but I boomed him. I'm not playing. Lil Reed Baduki II is a hard hitter. Boom, he is not playing. And I'm handing out headaches. Going into the next play on 3rd and 8, I was in a cover 3 zone, and I intercept the ball, but I didn't get my feet down, and we going to win the game. And as you can see, I end the game off of 7 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss. Going into our next game against 3-0 Kentucky, started off intense. As you can see, on 2nd and 10, they had a sweet play, but I came and wrapped and rolled, and them Gator rolls are paying off. Going into the next play on 3rd and 6, as you can see, I could have had an interception, but I undercut this route. But going into the next play on 3rd and 7, as you can see, Lil Reed Baduki II, he is trying to injure you every time he hits you. So don't let him get a hold of you. But going to the next play, I make a big tackle on the backfield. But going into the next play on 2nd and 8, I got beat on this man-to-man coverage, but I made sure he didn't make it to that end zone. Here, as you can see, going to the next play on 1st and goal, the quarterback walks in the end zone. Too much to understand why this quarterback, boom, keeps rolling out of this pocket, because he's going to get himself hurt. But going into the next play on 2nd and 3, the quarterback runs up the middle again, but I made sure to get him as soon as he pass first down. Here, as you can see on 1st and 10, the quarterback rolls out of the pocket, but he has nowhere to go with Lil Reed Baduki II. But as you can see, we're going to win the game, and I ended the game off with 8 total tackles and 1 sack. Going into our next game against 3-1 LSU, started off intense. As you can see, they had a sweet play, and he hit that outside, and I came down and boomed him early on. And Lil Reed Baduki II is a crazy hard hitter, and he comes down and lay another big hit. The coach comes over to tell me to watch out for the targeting cards because they will put me out for the game, but I lay another big hit. Going into the next one on 2nd and 10, staying in my zone. As you can see, I come down and lay a big hit on this tight end, and I wasn't playing. Here, as you can see, things started to juice up on 2nd and 7. His wide receiver caught a ball on me, but I still tackled. We're going into the next play on 3rd and 20, doing what I do best, baiting these wide receivers up with another one-handed interception, and Lil Reed Baduki II is here, and he is not playing. But on 1st and 10, staying in my zone, I don't know what these DBs are doing, but we are letting them get too much of a game. Here, as you can see, this is my fault on 1st and 10. I let up another pass be caught on me, but I tackled. I'm not gonna lie, this LSU wide receiver core was routing us up as he get another catch, but I put him down. Here, as you can see, going into the next play, LSU tried to hit us with a little trick play, and he was wide open, but I still stayed in my zone and almost intercepted the ball, but I dropped it. We're going into the next play. As you can see, we hold LSU to a shutout, and we go on to win the game. As you can see, Lil Reed Baduki II gets player of the game with 8 total tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 interception. Going into our next game against 3-2 Vanderbilt. Didn't start off so well. I mean, he just absolutely ran me over. We're going into the next play on 3rd and 10. As you can see, we were in man-to-man, but he breaks the tackle my teammate, and I boom him. I said, I'm gonna make up for it. But these quarterbacks think they can roll out with Lil Reed Baduki. You're not going anywhere. I will sit you down as soon as you run the ball. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I didn't have so well man coverage, but I still brought him down, but he got the first. And that did not lead to something good. Going into the next play, as you can see, he put it in the back corner for a touchdown. Lil Reed Baduki II stayed relentless, and he almost had an interception, but we both dropped the ball. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, going way out of his zone to make a tackle on his tight end was impressive. But being a great DB and breaking on his ball as soon as it was thrown, I laid that boom on him. But on the next play on 1st and 10, I boomed him as soon as he caught the ball. And I'm just not here to play, but going into the next play, I had a cover 3 zone, and me and my teammate just keep going up for the ball and dropping it. We're going into the next play on 3rd and 18. As you can see, this is a textbook tackle, Lil Reed Baduki II. And as you can see, we go on to win the game, and I end the game off of 5 total tackles. Going into our next game against 3-2 Missouri, started off intense. As you can see, I was man-to-man, and I put him down as soon as he caught the ball. We're going into the next play on 3rd and 5. As you can see, we gave up a gain of too much, but I still try to strip that ball out, but I brought him down. And that didn't lead to anything good. As you can see, they brought the special teams crew out to put 3 on the board. We're going into the next play on 3rd and 9. I intercept that ball because you is not throwing that ball Lil Reed Baduki II way, and he will take it all the way for 6. And he is the best in the nation. But on 1st and 10, I boom this quarterback. Going into the next play, as you can see on 2nd and 5, this running back at the ball, but I lay my shoulder into him. And here, as you can see on 1st and 10, I'm trying to take ACL, MCLI, and I made him do a flip. We're up 21-3, and Missouri is still trying to make their way back into the game by putting 3 on the board. Getting my team off that field on 4th and 1, I laid a boom on him, and we going to win the game. And I end the game off for 6 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 1 interception. Going into our next game against number 11, 7-1 Georgia. Started off intense. As you can see, we were all rallying to that ball to get that running back down. On 2nd and 10, Stetson Bennett throws a dot to the wide receiver, and I absolutely make him do a flip and lands on his head. On 1st and 10, I didn't do so much of a good job on man-to-man, but I put him down. Here, as you can see on 1st and 10, I came down and boom, this running back. I made sure to make him feel me. And on 1st and 10, boom, I absolutely obliterated him. That did not stop Georgia from putting 3 on that ball, but we still go on and win the ball game. And I ended the game off for 3 total tackles. Going into our next game against 6-3 South Carolina, started off intense. Big time players made big time plays in big time moments. I made him fumble that ball, and my teammate will pick that ball up. And as you can see, we will go all the way. Lil Reed Baduki II will lead his teammate on to greatness, and we are making plays and turnovers early for our team. Even though my teammate scored, I told him give me that ball because I wanted it. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, as you can see, he dumped it off to the flats, and I come down with a big hit early. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I was sitting in my zone, but I was impatient, so I came down and made the tackle early on. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, it's getting late, and we're up by 20. And as you can see, they finally get their first touchdown, but we still go on to win the game. And I end the game off with 4 total tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 forced fumble. Going into our next game against 2-6 Louisiana, started off intense. I hit him before he got the first down. Here, as you can see on 1st and 10, I will meet you in that hole and put you down as soon as I see you. And Louisiana did not come out here to play. They put 3 on that board early on. But going into the next play on 1st and 10 on that goal line, I was man-to-man, but I intercept that ball because I'm a ball hawk, and Lil Reed Baduki turns around, and I tried to get something going, but he gets tackled. Going into the next play, the quarterback rolls out of his pocket, and I absolutely throw him to the ground. Look at the relentless effort that I had. My teammate was struggling, so I came over there and threw him to the ground for him. Going into that next play on 1st and 10, this quarterback keeps rolling out of that pocket, but I grab him by his collar. As you can see on 3rd and 10, I made sure to put this wide receiver down as soon as he caught it. On 4th and 8, Louisiana said they were not backing down. They put 3 on the board. Things did not go our way. With 3 seconds left on the clock, they marched back down the field, and they will go on to win the game. And I end the game off with 7 total tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 interception. Going into our next game against 8-3 Florida State, started off intense on 1st and 10. I laid the boom on him early on. And I was like a magnet to that ball early on 2nd and 3. I got to the ball, bad intention for a tackle for loss. But Florida State did not back down. They strike back and put 3 on the board to tie the game up. Going to the next play on 1st and 10, I came out of my man-to-man and went and made a tackle, but he got too much of a game. As you can see here on 2nd and 11, the quarterback made the wrong decision as he got boomed. Oh my God, he got flat iron. Doing what I do best on 1st and 10, I'm a ball hawk as I intercept the ball, and I am not playing this season. I'm trying to go for Heisman, which is a hard thing to do as a junior. But I was absolutely fired up on 1st and 10. I absolutely threw this running back to the ground. Just when things were going good on 3rd and 5, I let up a deep long pass in my zone and he will take it all the way for 6, and that was my fault. And they drive back down the field to kneel the ball to end us, and we going to lose. And as you can see, I end the game off with 6 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 1 interception. After taking those 2 losses, we bounced back in the SEC Conference Championship game against number 1 Bama, and it didn't start off so well. I mean, they were driving down that field early. And they could not score on our defense, so they had to put 3 on that board to take them up 3-0. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I absolutely boom Bryce Young and make him do a flip. 4th and 7, I want to get off that field. I had a zone, but I came down and boomed him and made him fumble to get my team off that field. Going into the next play on 2nd and 10, I almost had an interception, but I dropped the ball. And as you can see on 1st and 10, I'm not going to lie, this running back was a load to bring down, but he came down. On 3rd and 4, after not having a good man-to-man, he gets the 1st down, but I still sling him to the ground. Going into the next play, this running back can't face me. I boom him early on. I was giving him my all, but it just wasn't enough. And as you can see, they kicked the field goal, and that would take them to win the SEC Conference Championship. But as you can see, I ended the game off of 8 total tackles. I didn't get Heisman, but I won the Chuck Benarke Award, and I also won the Bronco Nagurski Award, and I also won the Jim Thorpe Award. Going into the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl against Clemson, they were striking early on. We had a horrible start, and they went in to score early on. But I didn't back down on 2nd and 7. I came down and boom, Will Shipley. I was making sure to give it all I got. But going into the next play, they dump it off to the running back, and I absolutely made him fly on his head. Going into the next play, they had a read option. I hit this quarterback with bad intention. I got him fired up because I want all the smoke. But that stop still fell from getting a turnover. Clemson still puts 3 on the board. Going into the next play, they have a screenplay, and I come down with bad intentions and boom them again. Going into the next play, it was 4th down, and I went to go get the stop from my team and got a turnover. And as you can see, we are bowl champions. And Montreal Johnson Jr. had a monster game. And as you can see, I ended the game off with 6 total tackles and 1 tackle for loss. And with that being said, this is the last game of Lil Reed Baduka II junior season game. Next year, senior year, so he has to ball out. But going into the first game of my senior season against my old school, started off intense. On 1st and 10, I boomed him early on. And I have to come out here and show them the reason why I left. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, they had a read option, but he got too much of a game, but I still threw him to the ground. But not only on 2nd and 1 was I beat on his man-to-man, but you never give up on a play. Lil Reed Baduka II get his first interception of the season, and as you can see, he tries to make something shake, but he gets brought down to the ground. And I mean, he was absolutely fired up. This season right here is his last season, and he got to make the most of it, but coming down, he lays a big hit on this quarterback. But here, as you can see, going into the next play on 2nd and 10, we absolutely let up another big game, but we're up 28-0, and I make a big tackle, and as you can see, we go on and win the game, and I end the game off with 4 total tackles and 1 interception. Going into our next game against Florida Atlantic, started off intense. On 1st and 10, I came down and boomed early on, and I'm not playing. Going into the next play on 3rd and 4, me being a player I am, almost had an interception, but I dropped the ball. Florida Atlantic was driving down that field, but I absolutely obliterated that running back. But going into the next play on 3rd and 6, I was absolutely in la-la land. I absolutely let up a touchdown, and that was on me. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, they had a read option, but I came down and boom, the quarterback. I said, I'm here. Those buckles were sure to be loosened, but going into the next play on 3rd and 10, he absolutely ran me over, but I brought him down to that ground. But here, as you can see on 2nd and 13, the quarterback tried to stiff arm me, and I was not going for it. I threw him to that ground. And when you come against me, you better come hard. But going into the next play on 2nd and goal, this running back absolutely stiff armed his way into the end zone for 6. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, I absolutely came down like a lightning bolt and laid a big hit. There's 57 seconds on that clock, and they kicked 3, and I almost blocked this field goal, but they tied the game up. And as you can see, we go into overtime, and it's 4th and 9, and you know who's gonna get to that ball and get a stop and win that game. And as you can see, I ended the game off with 7 total tackles. It's our next game against 1-1 Missouri. Didn't start off so well. On 2nd and 11, as you can see, I came in, he ran me over, but he still came down. But Missouri was trying to take us off quick. I mean, they had a long field goal attempt, and they made it. But going into that next play on 2nd and 6, the quarterback absolutely fooled everyone, but I came across the field and made a tackle on him to stop him from forward progress. Here, as you can see, on 2nd and 5, the wide receiver catch the ball, and I mean, he had some ball grip. I tried to rip that ball out, but it wouldn't come out. But as you can see here on 3rd and 2, the DB was absolutely beaten. I came in and tackled him. But here, as you can see on 1st and 10, I was in great man-to-man, and I intercept that ball because I'm a ball hawk, and Lil Reed Baduka II is not playing. This year is his year, and he has to be a top prospect in the NFL draft. Going into this next play on 1st and 10, the quarterback rolls out of that pocket pocket and I try to take his ribs out. But on 1st and 10 here, we was absolutely in man-to-man, but I undercut this route and almost had another interception, but I came in with a tackle. As you can see here on 2nd and 6, they had a sweep and I boom this running back. I am not playing with you. But as you can see here, Missouri is up 10-7 and he hits the wide receiver in the back corner to take them up 17-7. Going into that 4th quarter, things has changed. We are now up 21-17 and on 4th and 7, I'm stopping him from forward progress. We're going into the next play on 4th and 4. Missouri needed anything they could and he threw the ball up and you know who goes to get that ball. Lil Reed Baduki II. And as you can see, we go on and win the ball game. Not in the game off of 8 total tackles and 2 interceptions. Going into our next game against 1-2 Tennessee. Started off intense. As you can see, I was in man-to-man and he absolutely had me beat, but I hit him out of bounds because I wanted revenge. We're going into the next play on 1st and 10. They are eating these out routes up, but I am hitting them right after they catch that ball. But here, as you can see on 3rd and 1, I come in and I am trying to get my team off of that field, and I will do so. We're going into the next play on 1st and 10. The quarterback scrambles up the middle and he gets boomed. Oh my God. We're going into the next play on 3rd and inch. As you can see, they get another 1st down, and I'm just coming over to get the tackle. Going into the next play on 2nd and 10. Lil Reed Baduki II was giving this quarterback a hard night. I mean, he took his ankles out, and I know that hurt. Here, as you can see on 1st and 10, he dumps it off to the wide receiver, and he will get up that field. And as you can see, I'm never going to give up on the play, and I go regain and make a tackle. Going into this next play on 1st and 10, this was the laziest move I ever made. I mean, I missed the tackle on the quarterback, and I mean, he took it all the way. Just look at the elusive speed. He outrun the whole team, and that was on me. That could have been a tackle for loss. And that would never happen again. But going to the next play on 2nd, I boom and run it back. I'm not playing with you, and we go on to win the game. And as you can see, I end the game off of 8 total tackles and 1 tackle for loss. Going into our next game against 3-1 Kentucky. Started off intense. I was in man-to-man, but I read it so good, and Lil Reed Baduki II has another interception, and he will take this one all the way down 4-6, and he is not playing early. But here, as you can see on 1st and 10, the running back catch that ball. Now boom him. I'm not playing with you. And this game is a physical game, and on 1st and 10, I'll come down and try to take him out. Going into the next play on 3rd and 11, I had a blitz, and I did not blitz. I was just man-to-man, but I don't know what the DB was doing. He let up a touchdown. And Kentucky did not let back. They were not playing on 1st and 10. They will break a tackle and go in with another touchdown. We got to get it together. We're going into the next play on 3rd and 6. I'll put this wide receiver down as soon as he catch that ball. As you can see, it's 4th quarter, and I catch this running back on 1st and 10 before he hits the hole. And as you can see, we go on to win the game. And I end the game off with 6 total tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 interception. Going into our next game against number 14, 5-0 LSU. Start off intense. As soon as he caught that ball, I made sure to put him down. Here, as you can see on 3rd and 2, the quarterback had a read option. He got too much of a gain. He got the 1st down. Going into the next play on 3rd and 7, I'm a great lurker, and I will intercept that ball. And as you can see, Lil Reed Baduki II speed will get him all the way to that end zone 4-6, and he is not playing. Going into the next play on 2nd and 12, as you can see, he had a slant. He caught the ball, but I made sure to put him down as soon as I got to him. But on 1st and 10, they had inside zone, and I boom that running back. I'm not here to play. You would know my name at the end of the day, but on 2nd and 9, I hit this wide receiver as soon as he caught that ball. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I boom him. Let's go. I mean, I'm feeling like the man, but going into the next play on 2nd and 10, the quarterback gets too much of a game, but I put him down. Here, as you can see on 3rd and goal, this was totally on me. I was late to my man-to-man zone. He got me for 6. But on 2nd and 2, as you can see, he had a slant route and I let up on it, but I absolutely grabbed him by his neck and bring him down. We go on to win the game. And as you can see, I end the game off of 8 total tackles and 1 interception. Going into our next game against 2-5 Army. Started off intense. On 1st and 10, as you can see, they had a sweep play, but I came and shut that down as soon as I hit him. Fool me once, you can't fool me twice. They ran a sweep again. I boomed him. I'm not playing with you. I will be handing out headaches all night, but as you can see, I shed this block and I will get that tackle on that running back. To the next play on 1st and 10, they have another read option, and as you can see, I will drill him and I will run straight through him. Boom! And he felt that. And on 4th and 2, when we needed to stop, I missed the tackle and the quarterback will go for 6. Here, as you can see, on 1st and 10, the running back catches the ball in the backfield, but I come over and hit him, but he falls for more yards. But as you can see, on 2nd and 10, I had a man-to-man, and I came down and tried to strip that ball out, but he had some ball control on him. As you can see, on 1st and 10, they had an inside zone. I absolutely obliterated this running back. He felt me. On 2nd and 10, I came down and boom, this running back. I'm not playing. And I'm like a magnet to that ball, but as you can see, he catch the ball out of that backfield. I try to strip, but we bring him down. We're going into the next play on 3rd and 10. I stayed patient on this man-to-man, but I will intercept that ball, and Lil Reed Baduki II sees nothing but that end zone, and look at the elusive speed as he will go all the way for 6, and he is absolutely fired up. That interception, I break the school record with 16, and we go on to win the game. And as you can see, I had 10 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 1 interception. Going into our next game against 7-1 Georgia did not start off well. I had a cover 3 zone, but I tried to bait up, and I mean the wide receiver was gone, and I was not in my zone, and this was totally on me. He would take it all the way for 6. But our offense made up for that. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, I came through and tried to drill him. Oh my God. Georgia was just not playing. On 3rd and goal, they punch it in for another touchdown, and we got to get it together. Here, as you can see, on 2nd and 3, the quarterback rolls out, and I boom him. I'm not playing. He absolutely got flat iron. Going into the next play, being patient in my zone, Lil Reed Baduki II almost has another interception, but he just gets the tackle, and we going to win the game. I had a horrible game with 3 3 total tackles. Going into our next game against 4-4 Vanderbilt, started off intense. I read this play like the back of my hand and intercepted that ball. And as you can see, Lil Reed Baduki tried to get somewhere where they will bring him down, but he got up feeling like the man because he is the man. Going into this next play on 1st and 10, I was completely out of my zone, but I still wanted to guard him. And as you can see, it's no fly zone against Lil Reed Baduki II. After doing so much good on 3rd and 5, I absolutely got stiff-armed and embarrassed. And I just wasn't going out like that, but on 3rd and 4, as you can see, the running back got too much of a game, but we still brought him down. Going into the next play on 3rd and 1, I absolutely came in and disrupted all the traffic and laid a big hit on the wide receiver. But just when Vanderbilt thought they was going to put points on that board, my other teammate intercepted that ball, and as you can see, look at the speed. Lil Reed Baduki II will make sure that he gets to that end zone safely, and he will go all the way for 6, and we were both fired up. Going into the next play on 2nd and 9, this wide receiver absolutely got me, and I absolutely put him down. Going into the next play on 2nd and 4, as you can see, this wide receiver absolutely got me, but I came over and stripped that ball, and as you can see, we didn't get on it, but his teammate got it, and he will go all the way for 6, and that was just unbelievable. But we go on to win the game, and as you can see, I ended the game off of 5 total tackles, 1 assisted tackle, 1 forced fumble, and 1 interception. Going into our next game against 5-4 South Carolina, started off intense. On 1st and 10, the quarterback rolls out of that pocket, but I made sure to wrap and roll him and put him down. Going into the next play on 3rd and 8, as you can see, we were in man-to-man, and as you can see, this tight end cut it up that field, and I tried to undercut his route to get an interception, but that didn't work. He takes it all the way for 6. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, the running back runs it outside, and I hit him and wrap and roll him. No big hits are needed just yet. I mean, Lil Reed Baduki II is just not having a good game. On 2nd and 6, he missed the tackle on the quarterback, and the quarterback will take it all the way for 6. On 1st and 10, he comes down and lay a big hit on his wide receiver as soon as he catch that ball. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, this quarterback rolls out of that pocket, and I made sure to wrap and roll him and put him down. Going into the next play on 2nd and 16, as you can see, the tight end routed me up, and I mean, he was gone, and I was tripping over my feet, and I tried to catch him, but he will go all the way for 6. It's 21-21, and South Carolina threw anything up, but Lil Reed Baduki stayed in coverage and got an interception, and hey, we are going to overtime. And big time players made big time plays in big time moments. On 2nd and 6, I laid the boom on him and made him fumble, and we got that ball, and the offense had already scored. So as you can see, we going to win the game, and I ended the game off with 6 total tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, and 1 interception. Going into our next game against 4-6 Ole Miss, started off intense. As you can see, on 1st and 10, they dump it off to the running back. He breaks a tackle, but I come in and boom, and I'm gonna ruin your night. But going into the next play, as you can see, I come down and lay another big hit. I'm not here to play. But going into the next play on 3rd and 4, I almost had an interception. I was juggling with the ball, but I dropped it. Going into the next play on 4th and 16, I read it so perfectly. I will go all the way. Lil Reed Baduki II gets an interception, and he is not here to play. He is doing nothing but creating turnovers for his team all night. Going into the next play on 3rd and 2, he creeps up and get another interception, and look at the elusive speed as he go all the way for 6, and he is not playing. He is absolutely fired up, and as you can see, we go on to win the game. I end the game off of 5 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 2 interceptions. Going into our next game against 7-4 Florida State, started off intense. As you can see, he rolls out of that pocket, and I go in to get a sack on him. I wasn't playing early. On 1st and 10, they run a read option my way again, and I come in and boom, this running back. I'm not here to play. 1st and 10, I met him in a hole, and boom, this running back. I'm gonna be here all night. Going into the next play, as you can see, on 1st and 10, he is stiff arming, but I come in and lay him down. But going into the next play on 3rd and 17, I was being impatient and went down, and why would you go down on 3rd and 17? And I don't know why I did it, but I lit up a touchdown, and that was on me. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, look at the relentless effort. I came over there and hit him real low and made him do a flip. That still didn't stop Florida State. They went in and kicked 3, and that'll take them up 10-7. But going into the next play on 2nd and 10, I'm gonna get mine, so I laid a boom on the quarterback, but we still go on and lose the ball game. And as you can see, I ended the game off of 8 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 1 sack. Going into our next game is the revenge game in the SEC Conference Championship against Alabama, and it didn't start off so well. They were driving down that field, and his running back was a load to bring down. He was going for a first down every time he touched the ball. But going into the next play on 4th and 5, I nearly had an interception, but I dropped the ball. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, he dumps it off to the tight end. As you can see, I get to that ball with bad intentions. Going into the next play on 2nd and 3, as you can see, this running back's going for a first down, but I will bring him down. Going into the next play, we're up 10-3, and on 1st and 10, I put him down as soon as he catches the ball, but he got a little bit of yard. On 3rd and goal, things did not go plan. I mean, he put a dot in the back of the end zone, and they went and scored on us. Going into this next play on 1st and 10, this quarterback was not escaping me. I put him down as soon as he ran up that middle. As you can see, it's 4th quarter with 20 seconds left, and that big running back will punch the ball in, and as you can see, they go on and take us down once again, and they are SEC Conference champs. I will not be playing my bowl game due to declaring for the NFL draft, but as you can see, I ended it off with 227 total tackles in my whole career in college. But as you can see, this is the end of Lil Reed Baduki's career in college football, and what do you think is next? Drop in the comments down below, what do you think is next for him?